If we die, it's lag. That's funny. Put a name. I don't feel like chasing one person down.
Okay, so this is going to be my Stamsorc build for Waking Flame. The stats. We have about 5.8k weapon damage with the weapon glyph procced, 6.1k with battle org up, 7.3k pen, 11k pen with a battle org, 31k stam, 2300 stamina recovery with all the buffs up. $850 mag recovery, 27k resist on the front bar, 29k on the back bar, 2600 crit resist. I have 6 points in health, 58 in stam. For the race, I've got Orc. I definitely enjoy having the speed from Orc. You could be Imperial if you want. The sustain is pretty nice, but Orc is what I go with. For the food, we've got Artam. For the pots, we're just running tripots. On the back bar, we've got double drain health poisons. It doesn't really matter what you run back here because you don't end up proccing these a lot, but this is what I go with. For the Mundus, I go with the Serpent. I like the recovery after they nerfed the Steed. Works pretty good. I'm neither a Vamp or a Werewolf. You could argue for Vamp, but I don't really like the sustain hit I take from it, and I don't really find stage 3 is necessary for me. Okay, onto the sets. So first set, we are wearing Pariah on the body and the jewelry. We got reinforced heavy legs, chest. We got triple infused weapon damage on the jewelry. I still like Pariah even after they buffed Battle Spirit, so everyone's more tanky. At least for the way I end up playing, I still feel like you need a defensive set. And it's still pretty good even with Hrothgar everywhere. Still works out pretty nice. Second set, we have Undaunted Infiltrator on the back bar. I go with Powered on the one-hander. I go with Reinforced on the shield. On the small pieces on the body, the belt, the bracers, and the boots, I just go with Impen on all three. Oh yeah, and just Impen on everything except for chest and legs. And then Triglyphs on everything. On the front bar, we have Vape Perfected Maul. You could use the normal version of it, that's perfectly fine too. And I put Sharpened and a weapon damage glyph on it. For the monster set, I just use Balorgs. It's really good for PvP. Pretty good for just going for that one shot on people. Okay, onto the skills. Front bar, we got Vigor, Rally, Dizzy, Executioner, Bound Armaments, and Dawnbreaker Smiting. On the back bar, I got Dark Deal, Streak, Crystal Weapon, Hurricane, Elude, and Atro. First thing, you could swap up. Most people like to have their Vigor on the back bar. you could swap Crystal and Vigor. You could also run Race Against Time instead of Streak, but I personally really like Streak a lot more. Race Against Time does do a good job of keeping up Undaunted Infiltrator though. So really either one is okay, but I like Streak better. You could drop Elude for Crit Surge if you wanted more passive healing, but I like the expedition you get from it. And I think that's about it. That's about all you could change. Okay, CP. For the green CP, I got Steed's Blessing, Rationer, Liquid Efficiency, Gifted Rider. For the blue CP, I got Resilience, Ironclad, Master at Arms, Focus Mending. You could swap out Focus Mending for something else, but they nerfed healing, so I feel like this is pretty necessary. And for the red CP, there's 2 flex spots that you can kind of choose what you want. But for sure, I would run Pain's Refuge and Clarity. I like Rejuvenation because going through footage, you don't actually have a debuff on you. There's one that gives 150 recovery whenever you have a debuff on you, but the uptime on this wasn't what I'd like, so I just went with Rejuve. You could also run Relentless. That's also a good one. But yeah, you could kind of swap Rejuve for what you want. You could swap Celerity too, or Clarity, but I think Speed is probably the best thing you can get out of this tree. Slippery is also pretty good. If you do the math, it's about 350 stamina recovery if it doesn't bug out. Juggernaut's not bad. There's a few in here that you could kind of swap around and see what you like. Okay, couple tips. So there is an interesting thing that happens with Undaunted Infiltrator. It's not game breaking or anything, but it's interesting. For Stamsorc, as long as you're in combat, you can tap Dark Deal and then cancel it with a block, and it'll just put on the buff. You don't have to spend any mag to keep up the buff. So that's pretty good. A little post addition. I just wanted to show off the combo and add another tip. First, you get your buffs up, you make sure you have Undaunted Infiltrator up. You get a 5 stack on Vatran. Buff up with Crystal Weapon into a Streak, into a Dawnbreaker or a Dizzy, and then execute. And I'll just show you what it looks like. And if you don't have a Dawnbreaker, you just, like I said, swap that out for a Dizzy Swing. And another thing, I don't see a lot of Stamsorcs doing this. Whenever you get CC'd, you can actually spam Dark Deal as much as you want to. No one can stop you. So, you get CC'd, you Vigor Roll Dodge and just spam Dark Deal. Could keep you up through crazy amount of damage. You can think of it as like Breath of Life. It does about the same amount of healing. Yeah, I think that's about it. And I will go ahead and show the most important part, the outfit and the add-ons, and I'll show some gameplay after that. Thanks. Subscribe if you like, the content, you want to see more.